Hi guys, so it's been a while since I'm on YouTube. I was away for 3 weeks in Asia, so I didn't really get a chance to do reviews there because I didn't bring my camera with me, but I'm back now. I bought a lot of stuff there, a lot of Transformers and other stuff. If you guys want to know how much I bought, here's a picture. So a pretty big haul, as you can see. Bought a lot of Transformers, a lot of Iron Man gadgets, Lego, and all that sort of stuff. So the Transformers figures that you've seen in the previous picture, basically I will be reviewing most of them in the upcoming weeks, so just stay tuned for it. But I like to start off with a favorite character of mine in the Transformers world, Optimus Primal. I'm a die-hard Beast Wars fan. I absolutely love the Beast Wars series, so when this figure got released, I was super excited. I got this figure right away when I saw it in Asia. So this is basically the LG02 Optimus Primal from the Takara Tomy Transformers series. It's the Transformers Legend series. It's also part of the 30th anniversary, I'm guessing. So the packaging, my box is kind of ripped because of the amount of stuff that I had to bring back from Asia. So sorry about that, guys. But most of it, it's basically just Optimus's images. There's the robot and beast mode. Also a small comic kind of clip kind of thing in the bottom right corner. Got the Maximal signature here, and then again Optimus. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. So without further ado, I think we should open this up and see how good of a figure he is. Alright guys, so I have Optimus straight out of its packaging. I didn't move it at all. This is what it looks like in beast mode. So in terms of coloring detail, very nice eyes. The face sculpt, the whole face sculpt with some black fur and gray bits in the nose. It's really nice. They even painted a gray ear on the side. So overall, really nice coloring, I think. There's some black fur detail on his shoulders, his arms. You see the gray fist. And I'm assuming these holes that he can carry as weapons. There's also some black fur on the back. On the legs, there's some metallic bits that will show more in his robot mode that I'll show later. There's some white detail on the side. I think that's more for robot mode as well. And then you can see some red bits as well. I think it's mostly for robot mode. Gray feet, and then you have the gorilla chest here, which is gray, and then some ab detail, and then basically very nice nice details on the beast mode. In terms of articulation, his feet you can move up and down. You can't really turn it 360 because it's locked in. This is basically all you can do, and then it's on a ball joint. His fist, you can turn it sideways, you can move up and down. A really cool gimmick is at the back here, you can actually lift this piece up, and then what you can do is you can press it and his arms will spin, just like so, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so this is basically his beast mode. Pretty fun to play with, pretty detailed. When I open the packaging, it does come with 4 missiles, 2 blades, and also obviously the instructions, which is really nice. It looks absolutely amazing. And then if you flip it open, there's like a small Japanese comic. I have no idea what they're saying because I don't understand Japanese, and then the instructions are right beneath it. So without further ado, let's get into the transformation of this figure and see how good of a figure he is. So to transform Optimus Primal, it's actually very easy. First, you want to start with the legs. Straighten his legs out, pull his robot feet out from the back, like so. And then just turn his, just turn his whole waist joint all the way around. And basically you have his robot feet done. Next you want to straighten his arms, like so. And then you want to move the shoulder pads up. The shoulder pads are basically locked with this white piece here onto this gap. Just give it a light push and then you can lift the whole piece out, like so. Same thing on this side. So what's left is his head and his robot chest piece. So chest piece is basically his gorilla face. So here comes the first thing I don't like about the figure, is actually his gorilla face mask here, because if you lightly tap the mouth here, it opens up this gap, which kind of doesn't look that great in beast mode. And nothing really locks this into place, so it kind of sucks. The other thing that I don't like about it is the whole gorilla head is basically held on only by the two plastic ears. These two ears are basically levers that can move the whole head downwards. You'll see it in shortly when I'm finished transforming this whole figure. And a small little plastic piece. So I'll detach it right now so you guys can see. So this small plastic piece here is the only thing that's really holding the whole gorilla head in. If you transform this figure too much, I feel like this plastic piece is going to wear and tear. That's just one thing that I don't like about. So that's kind of like my complaint about this figure. But anyway, let's move on with the transformation. Just move the whole head piece downwards, flip the face downwards so that the chest piece, the robot chest piece reveals. You can actually push it lightly and that will lock into place. So the gorilla face doesn't lock into place, but this piece does, which is great. And then you just basically move the whole lever or the plastic earpiece downwards until the chest piece locks into place, like so. So all that's left out is just turn his robot head 360 around, straighten his ears, and you have Optimus Primal transformed in his robot mode. So as you can see from the transformation, it's pretty easy, and it actually, it's an exact replica of how he transforms in the show, which is really nice. Now back to the robot figure. In terms of paint details, you have the metal legs, metallic paint legs. You have the red and white detail that I previously mentioned, beast mode, so they're more so for the robot mode. You have it on the thigh, you have it on the knees, you have it on the arms. You also have the metallic robot chest plate right here with some red detail and some light blue detail here. The face, there's some metallic silver pieces on the forehead, red eyes, purple mouth. It actually goes pretty well with the kind of like a navy blue head and the metallic face, metallic gray face. And then you've got some gray rubber ears. They're not flexible rubber, they're hard rubber, so just watch out for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The rest of the figure is mostly the gorilla black fur color that I previously mentioned for in beast mode. So in terms of articulation, legs again on a ball joint, knees twist joint up and down, and no feet joint movements. And then obviously you have waist movement as you've seen in the transformation. Arms, shoulders, you can move it all the way 360. You hear that ratchet noise, and that's because the two arms are actually interconnected in a way through this lever. So the lever I showed you in beast mode, it actually works the same in robot mode, but a cool thing about this robot mode arm movement is there's a switch here, a black switch. So if you lift the lever up right now, and let me just kind of move it in a way so that it'll work. So right now, when I press the lever, the arms move up and down. Now once you hit the switch and switch it to the other mode, you either push it up or down. In this case, you push it up. So you hear that click, and now if you press this, instead of the arms moving up and down, the elbow joints, spins. So pretty neat feature. And his blades popped out, but I'll show you where to store his blades later afterwards. So in terms of his arms, he can actually move it 360. He can move it up and down. You can move it manually, you don't need to move it through this lever. Or his elbow joints up and down and 360 as well. No fist movement though. So his arms are actually not on a ball joint, it's actually locked in a 360 twist joint. It can be good and can be bad, but I think the only reason why it's locked in this figure is because of the lever here for the gimmick. Head's on a ball joint, and that's pretty much it for most of his articulation. So only the feet and the fists are not really articulated, the rest are pretty good, so there's still some posability to this figure, not too bad. Now for his playability, this figure is super fun to play with. So first gimmick I'll show you is his back missile pods. So if you hit the back button here, this gray button, both of his back missiles will pop out like so. And then in front, he looks like that. And you can adjust these two kind of covers down here if you want. The Gorilla Ear lever piece will kind of lock it into place. And then these two missiles, you can fire it with the silver button right here. And they fire really well, they're both spring loaded. Oops. I kind of adjusted my launcher in a bit so it didn't fire really well. So it does fire really well and very far. So that's one, that's the other one. And the cool thing about this is once you open these two missile pods, at the very back here, you see under this red L shape or 7 shape piece, you see a hole here. So what this hole does is, the blades that I showed you previously before, you can actually store it within there. So the peg here, this little blue plastic piece, you can kind of plug it in here to store Optimus's blades. So probably this one's the right sword. Just kind of wiggle it and then it stays here. And then once it stays here, it's okay to close the pods on it too. It'll just remain in there. So there's weapon storage in his beast mode for his blades, which is really nice. And of course his blades, he can hold it with either of his hands. Like so. Or he can hold both of them on one hand. Like so. And then basically, as I mentioned previously, you can use the lever to spin it to cause like a spinning blade motion. So pretty cool. So now up to the second gimmick. The second gimmick is his arm cannon, which is here. So if you look closely to his, I guess, his left arm, there's a switch here. So all you have to do is push the switch in, and his arm cannon will flip out. And then basically same mechanism as that. This is a spring-loaded launcher, so you can just put the same missiles in. The only difference is if you put the missiles in this way, on the hand cannon or arm cannon, it doesn't go all the way in. It just goes this far, and then you can press the silver button to launch it. Again, it shoots pretty well and pretty far. Sometimes it does get stuck, or maybe it's just my figure, so there you go. So pretty fun. And then if you wanted to slip it back, just push this blaster and then close his fist. Like so. And then lastly is his, it's not really a gimmick, I guess, it's a second weapon storage, his mace. So if you open this flap up on his arm, there's his mace. So you can kind of just wiggle it out, do whatever you need to. And then once you pop it out, you can basically just untie the whole thing, and then there's the mace. And then again, you can basically hold it with either of his hands, and then if you push with the lever, it will basically spin the arm and spin the mace. So it's pretty good. and pretty fun figure to play with. There's a lot of playability, a lot of gimmicks. It's overall a really, really fun Voyager class figure to play with. So without further ado, let's get this guy transformed back, and we'll conclude with some summary comments about this figure. So I guess one thing before I transform him back to his gorilla mode that I forgot to mention, just a size comparison. Here's good old deluxe Starscream from the Transformers IDW Deluxe series, Armada Starscream. So he's about a Voyager class figure size, I would say. Slightly larger than a Deluxe. Actually, maybe 2 times larger than a Deluxe. So just kind of like a size comparison, so you guys can take a look. And then here's another comparison with the figure that I usually use, Scrapnel, a Legends class figure. So around like 2.5 times his size. So a pretty decent size Voyager class figure. So to transform him back basically is really easy again. First of all, just kind of wrap the mace handle around again, and then once it's tightly unwrapped, you can just kind of plug it back. Oops. You can just plug it back into the skull area here. And then you'll see at the back of the skull there's this piece that sticks out. This piece actually fits into a small hole right here. So just make sure when you store it that hole fits into the silver plastic spike piece fits into that hole, because once it fits, everything just fits perfectly and you can close it up. Then if you want, plug back the missiles in, because he's able to store it, and these won't fire if you hit the silver button at the back. So I usually just store these at the back, and then I store the swords as well. So just plug it in the red area again, like so, and then you can go ahead and close these. So you revert him back to the normal robot mode without any gimmicks open. Obviously you have 2 extra missiles that you can't really store anywhere, so just kind of keep them in a plastic bag or whatever. To transform him back, you can start with the head first. Just kind of push it back, turn around, and then basically just push the lever up, and then flip the chest piece out so that the gorilla head opens up. Push it back, make sure everything's locked into place, and lock that little plastic piece that I talked about during the transformation in. So you basically have the gorilla head down, close the shoulder pads, and then just kind of adjust your arms upwards. And then lastly, close the robot feet. And then turn the whole waist joint around, and then twist the knees. And then you have him back in his gorilla mode. So guys, overall a really, really fun figure to play with. I really, really like this figure. I would highly recommend it to anyone that likes Beast Wars or likes Optimus Primal in general, this character. I really, really like this figure again. I can't stress that point. It's just a really, really good figure to play with. Even display purposes, the lack of fist and feet joint doesn't really affect it. There's a lot of ball joint, waist joint movement to kind of compensate for that. So by all means, I would highly recommend this figure to anyone. Please do let me know if you guys have any questions or comments. Leave in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel. More reviews will be coming up. As you can see from the stuff that I've bought from Asia, there's a lot of Transformers figures coming up. So stay tuned. More reviews will be coming up. Thanks, guys.